Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Here is a classic case of good timing, because I was about to do a review of something that just got updated, and I haven't installed the update yet, but it'll be interesting to see if it was going to change my mind, because I was about to give a very poor review. Back in October of last year, I went to the Portland Retro Game Show, and I picked up this Timeshock Pro Pinball for $10. For my PS1, and it's pretty good. It's a very enjoyable early pinball game, which I quite enjoy. I like the digital pinball games, love the Pinball Arcade, and quite enjoy this. In fact, let me just turn up the sound here a bit, and we'll have a quick go of this Timeshock Pro Pinball. It's a pretty fun little pinball game, I gotta say, like an early Pinball Arcade type of experience, but on the PS1. A lot of fun. Now, I can't say how well this is going to turn out on this camera, because I'm using the little PS1 LCD screen here. I'll probably do a close-up as well. Alright, let's play a little more Timeshock Pro Pinball, but zoomed in a bit. Now, this might not be particularly fair, given what I'm about to compare this to, because I'm using the LCD screen of the PlayStation 1, and here is video mode. This particularly shows how somewhat inferior the LCD screen is to a regular television. I know you can't really make that out very clearly, and the LCD screen just is not the best way to view this, but I'm doing this intentionally for a comparison of something in just one moment.
Now lock those balls.
Oh dear, game over. Oh well. But this gives you an idea of what the game looks like a little more zoomed in. And as mentioned already, I'm intentionally using the PlayStation 1 little screen, because little screens are exactly why I'm playing Pro Pinball. So there's Pro Pinball on the PlayStation 1, and it's a lot of fun. It's actually quite a good pinball game. Now, 2 years ago, I think it was in summertime of 2013, there was a Kickstarter going on, I'll show that right here, to bring the Pro Pinball games to iOS. And as you can see here, as of September 14th, 2013, the project was successfully funded. Great! In fact, there it is right there. So here is Timeshock, the same game, on iOS. So how does it play? Well, I'd like to be able to tell you, except for it keeps crashing my iPod. So, and that happens a lot, even after a hard reset. It'll get me to a certain point, and then it crashes a lot. I can get as far as the opening screen here. Now, on the occasion where I am able to get this game running, it actually is pretty good. I'll play a little bit here just to show you. And you can see it is the same pinball table as the one on the PS1, just from a slightly higher perspective. It's got the same V shape of lights, and it is the same table. let me give this version, sort of version 1.0, a little try here to show you how the game is like. So it's got the same music, same voices, and if I can do this properly, the same gameplay. It looks really nice. But I got to admit, I can't make out what that top screen says at all. And at least with the PS1 on its little LCD screen, that has the excuse of being just a lower res kind of an LCD viewer. But this is a latest iPod Touch. I mean, can you make out what that says? Let's try another ball. At least the upper field is a little more visible. You can make out things better up there because of the tilt. And again, I have no idea what's going on up there. So, iOS Timeshock Pinball compared to the original PlayStation one isn't fantastic, and I was ready to just start giving it a really poor score. However, iTunes says there's some updates. So let's install those and see if it makes things any better. There is now an update for the Timeshock Pro Pinball table. There's a whole bunch of things in here, including crashes, which is pretty major. Some leaderboard stuff, some account stuff, adding a restart, etc. But I would like to see if this actually has improved some of the stuff that I didn't like about this Pro Pinball iOS version. So let's install the update and see what happens here. Okay, update is completed. Before I launch it, I do notice one little thing that they've added into the list here. Icade support. And I've got my Icade Junior standing by to confirm that. But first, let's just try this out. Well, we're looking better. At least it launched on the first attempt here. Let's see what difference they've made with this new version. Okay, well, looks kind of the same, although I do admit this is actually much more legible now up here. As you can see, you can actually make out some details now. Much, much better improved up there. Let's try the game out. At least I can read the video mode now. Yeah, this is a vast improvement as far as that upper screen is concerned. Okay, I like some of the changes they've made. I do think this is a much better version now. Thank goodness they did an update. You can actually read what that says. I'm just having a look at the settings. They haven't really added too much, except for now there's like a soft and a sharp DMD mode. But that's about it. I'll do one more game here, and I'll I'll describe something else I wish they had added. Yeah, it's not a bad little digital pinball game, and certainly as a recreation of the original PlayStation 1, it's pretty good. It's very faithful to the original game, and it looks fantastic. I like the fact that you've got this tall screen mode where the old LCD one back in the day just couldn't deal with that. Their solution was to tilt your view a little bit further that way for the table. Before we finish here, let's just see what it looks like running in the Icade. Well, I'm afraid I got some bad news on the Icade front. Now, this may be strictly to the Icade Junior's fault. Maybe on the senior large version of the Icade this is okay. But what I'm discovering is there's no way to remap the buttons. And so, as mentioned, the bottom button here is the right flipper. This button here actually is the left flipper. And there's no way to remap it. So yeah, one finger on the back, one finger on the front for the flippers. Not really the ideal way to play. So yes, technically it has Icade support, but I don't see any way to remap the buttons here. Again, this may be a strictly Icade Junior issue. I'll check one other area for the possibility to remap the controls, because this isn't very good. Alright, I've been up and down this list. I cannot find Pro Pinball as something that I can adjust the settings of. And again, if I check these settings, all I can do is adjust nudge and light and the DMD. So yeah, we have some Icade support, but not very much. I do like the improvement they've made up here. I do like also the screen is a lot taller. But I'll show you one thing I really like in a pinball game, especially one that I can play in the Icade Junior, that maybe not a lot of other people like, but it's at least an option I wish they had added. Pinball Arcade has done it right. And again, this is a really classic case of really good timing, because just this week, they've added the Addams family, which is a table I've been looking forward to trying out for quite a while. I'll tell you something I really like about the way Pinball Arcade does digital pinball, is the moving camera. Now, I know a lot of people don't like that. I've seen people, for example, Crow, when he plays his Pinball Arcade games, he keeps the screen locked, much like Pro Pinball was just now. And that would be fine on a big screen, but on a little screen like this, I like the option to be able to move the camera around. Okay, he's right. Let's go. I like the fact that I can see where the ball is. I like the moving camera. And Icade Junior controls are much better. It's just these back two buttons for the flippers. And the joystick for the plunger. So yeah, I really like the way they've done it for the Pinball Arcade, and I wish the Pro Pinball had followed that format. Maybe in another update. but I'm not too thrilled. One thing I will give them is at least the game launches more often, and I do like the fact that I can make out what's on that top DMD. So that has been Timeshock Pro Pinball, both the original PS1 version and also the new iOS version, plus it has been updated. It has room for improvement. I hope they take care of a lot of the issues that I have. I think for now, I'll just stick with the Pinball Arcade on my iPod Touch. And if I want to play some Timeshock, I'll stick with the classic on the PS1. And having said that, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.